Okay, good morning, everyone. As I said, I'm working on the gospel here, and it seems I get all these heavy ones, because this is definitely a heavy one, so we'll see how it goes. Let me explain the history again. Jesus has been hanging out, doing all his miracles, healing people. Interestingly enough, he had a miracle just before this. He healed a blind man. The blind man, well, I can kind of see, but it's not quite right. And he goes, oh, okay, and he fixes it. Now he is fine. I have no idea what that, but he was doing all these things, and he was kind of famous. If you're one of the disciples, you're hanging around with the most famous guy in the world here. Okay, so you're feeling pretty good. And he says, who do they think I am? You know, and they said, all these famous people, John the Baptist, Elijah. But then, who do you say I am? All right, and Peter answered him, you are the Messiah. Ding dong, right answer, Peter wins. Okay, no one had realized that before. He got the right answer. He knew, you are the Messiah. And you know, I can identify with Peter here, because right now, he's feeling pretty cool. He got the answer right. In fact, in the Matthew version of this story, Jesus responds by saying, and I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. Okay, I feel pretty cool. But then right then, next one, he says, and he sternly ordered them not to tell anyone about him. He was the Messiah. It's the biggest news in all of history, that the Messiah has come. And he says, shut up. Don't tell anybody. I mean, really? Really? You know, I mean, why? Well, a number of reasons. First of all, Peter, okay, realistically, if you were in his position, wouldn't you feel just a little bit cocky? This is the number one guy in all the world in heaven right here, and I'm his number two. Yeah, I'm pretty cool. You know, I got the answer right. I remember in second grade when Mrs. Murphy let me clean the boards. Okay, she had, now with you remember the little black one eraser? Remember that long white one with like the leather top or whatever? I was the only one that got to do that. I felt really cool. Okay, second grade, so move that up to, the Messiah. But also, Peter just plain did not understand, because at that time, they all thought the Messiah was going to come and save them. They were occupied by the Romans. Israel they were in trouble. They had not been a free people for, a long time. And they thought Jesus, the Messiah, was going to come and save them from all this. He was going to rule peacefully on earth forever, elevate them. They were God's people after all. That's what they were going to do. But then he started preaching, and then he began to teach them the Son of Man must undergo great suffering and be rejected by the elders, the chief priests, and the scribes, and be killed. This is no way for a Messiah to behave, and after 3 days rise again. He said all this quite openly. Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. I can see him. No, Jesus, we're going to scare people away. No. This is a good thing. You're the Messiah. You're going to save us all. You're on a roll here, Jesus. Do you really want to? As his handler, he would say, no way. Don't do this. Don't talk like this. And I can understand that. So here is Peter trying to tell Jesus what to do. At that point, Jesus said, but turning and looking at his disciples, he rebuked Peter and said, get behind me, Satan, for you are setting your mind not on divine things, but on human things. If I was Peter, that would have killed me. Yeah, I mean, really, you realize this is the most important man in the history of the world. He's the Messiah, which means he's only half man, he's half God. And now he just called you Satan. He called you Satan. He went from being the head of the class to get to clean the erasers, and now you're Satan. It seems to me a little unfair, but I know what he was saying. I mean, why did Peter say that? How did he react? Well, we don't know, because in the next minute, Jesus was probably a little annoyed, and so what he did is he called everybody up to him. He said, if any of you guys want to be my followers, let you deny yourselves and take up your cross and follow me. Okay, he sounds a little ticked to me at that point, and I've often thought Peter Jackson should do a trilogy on the life of Jesus. Okay, who is Peter Jackson? Lord of the Rings. When I watched Lord of the Rings, I got done, I knew Frodo. I knew Sam. I knew everything about them. He needs to do one on the disciples. Okay, I think I would know them better. Short of that, I know there's some other, I could read the Bible a little more, that would help. But, it's hard to get in Peter's head here. I don't know exactly what he was thinking. But I can explain some of these, okay? Take up your cross and follow me. When I read this, okay, yeah, it's my cross to bear. I've heard that expression a million times. That's not really what this means. Because when you say it's my cross to bear, you're taking a burden that was given to you. All right, whether it's an illness, a hardship of some kind, it's my cross to bear. When you take up a cross, you do that actively. You decide to grab that cross and carry it. That's a different thing. When I was looking at this, I saw, these are not my words here I'm going to read. The cross was an instrument of pain, shame, absolute loss, and death. Taking up the cross means to be in solidarity with those who are oppressed, just as Jesus was. That's why he took the cross. It is to live for the sake of the least of your brothers and sisters. Jesus didn't have to do that, but yet he did. To take up your cross is to let go of your ego, your willfulness, and your desires, and be led wholly by God's self-giving passion for the world, especially for the poor and the powerless. You do this not out of duty or belief that you ought to be miserable, but you do it out of joy, pure joy in the gift of life and pure love. To take up your cross is to give your life for the life of the world, because that is your delight, trusting that the one who gives life gives it to you abundantly. Whoa. I don't think I can do that. I really don't. I mean, I'm going to be led by God's self-giving passion for the world. I'm going to give my life for the world because it's my delight. I don't know if I can do that. And this is, I will admit, this is the part of the sermon that none of us like. Okay, I don't like it because I'm preaching to you what to do. And really, who am I? I'm not a preacher. This is not a sermon, it's a message. I cannot tell you to give your life for the life of the world. I can't tell you to do that. Okay, and it's at the point where you don't like it because I'm telling you what to do. And then you go leaving here, I can't do that. I can't do that. There's no way I can do that. Okay, but if we look at it a little further, okay, follow Jesus. It says, follow me. I mean, what does that mean? I was sitting there for a couple days here, including the emergency room, trying to figure out what that meant. And I realized that this is one of the biggest questions of Christianity. And I'm trying to figure out in an hour while my wife's getting splinted, and this is not going to work this way. I decided I just wish Jesus would just tell me. Wish he'd just tell me, just what is it that you want me to do to follow Jesus? That's what I want to know.
This is the Lord. Pick up the phone and follow it.
Hello? Jesus? Oh my God. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Jesus. That's a figure of speech. I guess it applies here. Yeah, hello. We were just talking about, okay, yeah, I know you know that. We were just talking about you. Here's the question we have. What does it mean to follow you? Joking aside, what does it mean to follow you? Okay? Okay, wait a minute. Rebecca, give me a pencil. Give me a pen. Hold on. Give me that. It's Jesus. Okay? He's a busy man. Okay. All right, go with it. All right. Got it? Yeah. No. Even a field goal, maybe? It won't. Does Tebow know that? Wait a minute. But if I tell people all this, they're not gonna want. Ooh, don't call me Peter. Okay, I didn't mean that, and don't call me that S word either. Okay, yeah, I didn't mean that. Okay, all right, go on. All right, I guess I'll listen to you. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to try that. It will help if you kind of hang out here a little bit, kind of let me know what to say here. This is going to be hard, okay? All right, well, hey, Talk to you later, hopefully. It's been kind of fun. Yeah, bye. Okay. All right. Here's what he said. First of all, he was talking to Peter. And specifically to Peter, he was saying, are you willing to die to follow me? Really. Most of the disciples did die following him. Most of them were crucified, martyred in some way or another. He's saying it wasn't going to be easy. Now, for us to follow Jesus, he told me that we will probably not have to die for that. All right? You might, but probably not. But there are some things we're going to have to do. We don't have that decision to make. And like I said, I have a little trouble with this for the same reason Peter had trouble with it. There are some people who have never come here before. And I want to tell you it's easy. But it's not. If you decide to follow Jesus more than you are, it's not going to be a walk in the park. It's not going to be Cedar Point every day, okay? He's not going to do you special favors. He just told me that. He's not going to make you popular or fun or healthy or rich. And he won't help you score any touchdowns, okay? He's not going to do that. What I'd like to tell you is just believe in Jesus and you'll all be happy. I'd like to tell you that you believe in Jesus, prosperity will come your way. A lot of pastors speak that. No, it's not what he's saying. I'd like to say just believe all the Facebook messages you see, all about Jesus. Now, a lot of them are good. I'm not criticizing Facebook messages, but you know the ones, I believe in Jesus, everything is good. He's just saying it's not always going to be that easy. I believe he has a plan for me, but it's not necessarily the plan I want. In fact, I'm quite sure it's not. And it's not going to be an easy one. Might not. Now, is it all going to be hard? No, we'll get there. It may not be when we want, and it may not be in this lifetime, but we will get a reward for it. But realistically, we're not doing it for a reward. Christianity is not about rewards. Christianity is about being Christ-like. Christ didn't do what he did for get rewarded. He did it because he loved us. Okay, and what he said to me is, behave like I did. Treat people like you love them. He said, the oppressed, the downtrodden, the less fortunate, do things for them. When you follow Jesus, your priorities are going to change. You're going to be spending more time on things that benefit other people, not yourself. You'll be together with those who are oppressed, those who are beaten, those who are misused and abused. You will not shove them aside. You will help them. I know it's not easy. Friends of mine were talking about the other day when some lady came up to his car and said, I want money for gas. We've been through this how many times at SBR? How do you handle that? I don't know. But I know what we tend to do is we say, oh, she's just scamming. That's how she makes her living. She doesn't need money for gas. It makes us feel better saying that. But this is one of these where it's difficult. That woman might need money. She might be just playing the system. It's not always easy, to take up our cross, to put aside our own ego, okay, and help the poor and the powerless. That is what Jesus did. Everything he did was help the people who were less fortunate than him. Every single thing he did, so much that he died for that. Now, whether he died for me personally or not, I know I'm supposed to think that, but he died for humanity, and that's part of me, or I'm part of it. He did that, okay, and we don't do it out of duty. We do it out of joy. When my mother had just died, and we were at the nursing home telling my dad, his wife of a million years had just died, and it's an emotional time. And it was hard watching my dad do that when we told him. But I remember telling my brother that, I'm a science guy, kind of guy, and I don't ignore data, and certainly I believe in the idea of evolution, but evolution doesn't explain love. It just doesn't. It just doesn't explain love. Yes, you can say that if a couple loves each other, they'll protect their kids. I understand all that. But the severity of the emotions, the depth of the emotions love brings, no, that just has to be God's work. It has to be his work. I mean, God is love. That's what the closing song, God is love. Okay, and that's what it is. Think about how many times you've done things for people you love, whether your baby's crying all night, someone's sick, You work 2 jobs to support people. You've helped a neighbor. That wasn't for you. That was for them because you loved them. You didn't get done and say, yeah, I'm a great guy. No, you did it because you loved them. When my mom stayed up with me all night, she thought I was dying of the flu. She didn't ask for any praise the next day. She did it because she loved me. All right? Jesus is about love. He told me that it's not about rules. Rules are good, but we don't follow rules because we're supposed to follow rules because we're afraid of them. Of course, we try to follow 10 commandments. But if you know that your spouse likes cream and sugar in her coffee, when you give her your coffee, you give her cream and sugar, not because she's going to yell at you if she doesn't, because you love her and you want to give, okay, she might bet, right? Because you love her and you want to make her happy. And that's the reason we follow 10 commandments. That's the reason we do the things that God asks us to do. All right? But the trouble is, it's difficult. I mean, really, how do we know what to do? How do we know what to do? I don't know. I mean, it's how do we know? It's great to say, I'm going to follow Jesus. It's good to say, I'm going to do.
Guess who?
Yeah. Hello? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I guess I should have figured that. Yeah, that's why we're here. Okay. You know, this has been really cool, you know? Hope we can do this again sometime. All right, yeah. Hey, that was nice. Yeah. All right, thank you. Yeah, bye. It was Jesus again. He said, you're stumbling here. You don't know what to tell him. I said, yeah. And he says, where are you? I said, I'm at the church. He goes, there's a reason for that. Oh, I don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. But together, the church, this church, any church, we can do more. We can help each other to figure out what it is to follow Jesus. It's like my physics class. You can have 8 guys there who don't have a clue, okay? But they get together, work on the homework, and 2 of them, 3 clueless people ends up to be an okay, pretty good kind of understanding of it, you know? And if you have 3 people who really know what they're doing, then they really get it. The people who aren't sure, when they work with each other, it gets better. They figure it out. And if you look around you here, this church is full of people who have some idea, but no one has all the ideas. All right? But we work together. That's where our church comes in. Together we can do more. We can help each other. And, you know, this church, all churches do a lot of good things. Okay, but again, we're not doing just because, hey, look all the good we're doing. We're doing that because we want to. At least that's what we're supposed to do. If we do this out of love, the other details don't matter. You don't say, am I doing this right? If we're doing it because we love our fellow man or love whoever we're helping, the rest is unimportant. That's what Jesus wants us to do. He wants us to follow him and do that work out of love. He'll help us figure it out. Will help us figure it out. You'll know what it means to follow Jesus. You may never write it down. Okay? If you try to follow him, like I said, it may not be easy. Sometimes you might get made fun of, and I know some of you have. They may whisper about you, call it a Jesus freak, things like that. You will wonder if you can do this. You will wonder if you're good enough. You will wonder how to do it. How do I follow Jesus? And you will always think you're not doing enough. You're not working enough. You're not giving enough. You're going to do that. And there'll be times when you wonder why. What's the point? So-and-so is not following Jesus. Look at everything he's got. I want to be like him. He's got it better than I do. But down inside, you'll know that's not where it is. That's not love. That's possessions. That's this world. Okay? Last slide. For those who want to save their life will lose it. For those who lose their life for my sake and for the sake of the gospel will save it. It's not about here. Those who save their life make this life great, this world great. Yeah, you'll have fun for your 60, 80 years you're here. But there's more. There's more. As a church, we can help each other. We can help each other try to follow Jesus and try to be like Jesus. And we can show love for each other and for everyone. Hopefully when you come to this church or any church, you feel that love that's here. If it's just some guy like me preaching and tell you what to do, that's no good. This is out of love. Okay, if we love each other and if we know we are loved, there's nothing in the world stronger than that. You can do anything. Okay, we may not become Mother Teresa overnight, but together, we'll go on the right path. Amen.